Hello and welcome back to the 500 workshop. It's just about spring, so it's time to start getting to work on cars again. So since I last saw you, when we rebuilt the engine, can't get it to start at the moment though. I think it's something to do with the timing or the carburetor, one of those two, but we'll work through it and we'll work through the problems and we'll try and find out what it is. But while we were trying to put all the timing together and stuff, in my last video you'll see that the pulley, the oil filter pulley, was not correctly positioned for top dead center, and that looked, comparing it with the old one, like it was a manufacturing error. So I actually got the part from a company called fiatclassic.com, and that was probably a good 7-8 months ago. I contacted them, and without any quibble whatsoever, they've sent me a new one that looks spot on and accurate. So thank you very much to them, really appreciate that. I know it was a long time since I ordered it, but you know, fantastic service, so thank you to those guys. So today we've got our new puller, so just grab that, here it is. The actual Woodruff key is at the bottom there where that goes, and then our timing mark is here. If you remember on the other one it was over here somewhere, so this should be good, let's hope so. And all we're going to be doing today is quickly whipping out the old one of these, or the previous one of these, and putting this one in, so we got our timing marks nicely, and that should help us time the engine properly and get it running. So we're going to use all power tools, make it as quick as possible, and just rally through it to get this one installed. So here's our setup. Rear lid is off, just the one 10mm nut, and just disconnecting of the electric light and the thing that keeps it secured. So that's out of the way. And here we've got a setup of, we've got a load of bricks with a breadboard on top. Now this is going to support the engine while we take the back cross member off here. So we're not absolutely removing the whole engine. All we're going to do is remove all the mountings, remove the back brace here, then remove our belt so we can get to our pulley. I think this is probably going to take about an hour or so doing it alone, but let's see. So we've got our jack here. I'm just going to bring that between the two set of bricks and we'll raise it up. Let's get our piece of wood in the right place. I'm just going to start lifting the breadboard slightly, and I know that's on the base of the engine now, so there wasn't a lot of gap there, which is exactly the way I wanted it. First thing we're going to do is take off the mount, so then we can take the brace out, and then we can lower the engine back down onto the bricks. We've got our 13s. So just loosen those off. And then we got our 17s at the back here, so we just break those off as well. Get those started. difficult to get a ratchet in here. Kind of seems to get stuck quite easily between this and the exhaust elbow. Out. That's out. Don't forget you've got the spring in here, so you need to be a bit careful because it is rising up with the spring. I'm going to take this side off first, just because I don't want to try and injure my fingers against the exhaust elbow here. Make sure it doesn't ping up. There we go, it just comes off. Just going to get a jar to put these in as always, so we don't lose anything. And back on 17 ratchet, should just be able to now clean this up. Oh, lost that. There we go. There we go. Just need to be a bit careful as that comes up. Right, now we'll take that spring off as we take the back off. So now there are 4 nuts holding this back brace on, so we'll get those off. Break these off manually for a second. Difficult to get in there with that tool.
Try a longer one, see if that helps.
we removed the back panel, and now we can just slowly drop this engine down onto the bricks. Just make sure it's down all the way. It is. Move our jack out the way. So now we have easy access where we need to be. So we're going to do these 3 nuts on here, which are 10s. Allows us to take this plate off, which will allow us to remove the belt. Carefully take this off, trying to catch all the washers. There we go. Belt's off. Place it there for a second. Now, get another tray. Put these in. Right, so we've removed the cover plate here, and I realised that last time I put this back in, which was a couple of weeks ago, I didn't peen the washer here against the nuts. So just as well I am replacing it, because that's not the best thing to do, obviously. So I think this is a 32. Let's get our big 32 out. And we've got our ratchet gun here, which means we don't need to lock the engine. Push that. Here we go. And there we go, we can take that off. And then we should just be able to slide this out. And there we go. So we can put our new one in. Before we do put our new one in, just going to make a couple of markings on the wheel level with this bit, so that we know that that's top dead centre and that's where it'll line up. And let's just see if we can get this on camera here. So we've got a white paint marker pen, and there's a little notch here which shows where top dead centre should be. So we're just going to mark either sides of that, and that'll be nice and clear now. When it's going round and we're trying to time it, we'll have a nice mark on there to do that. So our new one should go on. The wood rough keys down the bottom. Just try and line that up, and that just goes in nicely. And then we should be able to put this back on. Not quite right. Okay. Seem to have not had that in the right position, the washer, and now the washer's bent slightly, so I'm going to have to tap that back with a hammer. Right, a little bit of manipulation with a hammer and it looks as though it's going to be okay this time, hopefully. There we go, that's it back in position. So now I can pin this back. There we go, nice and tight. So now you can throw it all back together. So everything to put on rather than take off. So here we should have alignment with the timing mark. Now let's hope all these go in the right place. Should only be one way to put this plate on. Not changing the rubber seal because it's hasn't been on the car very long, not even started the engine, so. Plates on. And the washers. Try to get my glove stuck in there. And then the nuts. Now with this, I prefer this to do tighten this by hand because I don't want to over tighten them, and I want to make sure that we can feel as it tightens up what's going on. Rotate the engine a bit. Is that tight? Loose, loose. There we go, tight. As we rotate, the belt moves, and we can take up the slack of the nuts. Again. So they're happy with that. Belt tension is nice. So that bit's back together. Now we can put our rear brace back on and then jack the engine up, put the spring in, and hopefully we should be good. Back plates back on. We've kept the car jacked up. That's so we can get enough pressure to put the nuts on here. So got our two 13 bolts. Go. And our two nuts with washers, and we shouldn't forget that we've also got our earthing line that needs to go on as well, which is going to go something like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is try and put this back side on. So we can get some purchase. That just gives us a bit of leverage to now to tighten things up. So that's 17, and we're going to start tightening this one up, and hopefully it should lower it all together a little bit. I'm going to start putting this bolt on, but without the washer, just so I can get it down, because if I try and put the washer on, it's not going to happen at the moment. Got my spanner somewhere here. There we go. down. Let me take this down a bit more as well. Tends to be much easier once you've got these on. Now tighten up this one at the back. Take this back off. That's on, that's tight. Now we just need to take this one back off and hopefully won't move because everything else is now tight. Put this in, pop it back, tighten. Get started. Yeah, that's it. And there, all done. So lowered the engine back down, all good and ready to go. So if anyone out there wants a centrifugal pulley with a slightly odd top dead centre, then please contact me. I have one for sale. It's brand new, just it's a bit odd, that's all. So yeah, easily replaced, and now we can continue our investigations and settings on the engine.